YouTube, man, what's the word, family? It's your boy JayWayy back again with another reaction. We got our boy 1090 Jake on the floor. The story of Tay-K doomed from birth. Man, this is a sad story, man. Sad to the victim, sad to this dude. Tough pill to swallow, yeah, man. Anyways, you know me, I get straight to the video. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button, man. Let's go.
When it comes to crash outs, few can compare to the one and only Tay-K, who not only crashed the GOAT, he did the race. Just recently, the 24...
I ain't beat that case, I did the race. Skirt. Hold on. My bad, y'all.
4-year-old was sentenced to forever. Well, not literally. But by the time he's eligible for parole, he'll either be dead or close to it. And in this video, we're going to break down Tay-K's infamous case, along with the series of unfortunate events that left a 16-year-old in a cell responsible for 2 murders. Kevin Beverly, who went by the name KD, was a Compton Crip, while Jolena McIntyre, who went by the name Nina, was a Long Beach Crip. The two would meet in high school in the early 90s, and in the year 2000 would have a baby named Tamor McIntyre, who would later be known as Tay-K. His father would wind up in prison, while his mother was in and out of jail struggling with addiction. Tay-K would grow up in and out of foster care, where he'd suffer abuse along with his siblings. He'd be returned to his mother, only to be taken away again as she went back to jail. This cycle would continue as Tay-K moved from Long Beach, California to Las Vegas, Nevada. His mother would be arrested again, finding herself in a new jail, while Tay-K in a new home. It wasn't until his father's release from prison that his father would move the family down to Arlington, Texas. Reunited with his father and relocated to a more suburban environment, you'd think Tay-K would finally have a chance to thrive now that his family was back together. But by now, Tay-K was claiming his mother's set, Baby Insane Crib. Tay-K wasn't old enough to have been put onto the set in Long Beach, meaning he wasn't officially jumped in. But who could tell Tay-K he wasn't official? He came from a Crip family, with both parents still actively banging. In Texas, Tay-K would take up an interest in music before finding himself wanting to become a rapper. Tay-K would become a member of Daytona Boys, a rap group with his 2 friends, Eric Johnson, who went by the name Santana Sage, and Jalen Bell, who went by the name Pimpies.
Man, folks was young, bro. When did this song come out, bro? I was like 19, bro. Hold on, bro. This is crazy, bro. Hold on.
Building up a local fan base, things took a turn for the Daytona Boys in 2016. 20-year-old Sarah was the designated driver for her friends on
7 years ago. 7 years ago. 7 years ago. My boy went crazy, dropped that song, it blew. Boy that got bumped, arrested. He didn't even get to, like, you know, come home, enjoy his freedom or none. I got Wendy's and shit earlier. But isn't that crazy though? That's crazy, man. Sad, man. All because of a camera. Crazy.
New Year's Eve. She attended the University of North Texas and was enrolled in the radio, television, and film program. Pulling up to a stoplight, another vehicle pulled up alongside hers. The other vehicle contained multiple males who began making derogatory comments to Sarah and the other females in her vehicle. A male in Sarah's car defended the females, and that's when gunshots rang out. Sarah was shot in the head, lost control of the vehicle, and hit another car before crashing into a pole.
Can you tell which one of these ads is AI?
Crash out. Just because the females don't want to talk to you, man.
If you guess.
Tay-K, who was only 15 years old at the time, was later identified as being in the suspect vehicle. This would be the first murder he'd be connected to, but he'd never face charges. Instead, a 21-year-old Marine named Eric Johnson was taken into custody at his base and later arrested for killing Sarah.
This is senseless and tragic.
There are so many things Clay and Gloria Muchlechner could talk about right now.
Couldn't go to sleep. All I could think about was her and this just horrible thing that happened to her. She did not deserve this.
But they say Sarah would want them to smile. Hers was infectious.
She's never met a stranger. She was always nice to people. She would talk with them.
Just like her grandpa Bloss.
And no matter what, think of what they had, not what they lost.
We're all going to miss her. And some people don't get to have their kids 20 years, so we have to be blessed with what we've had with her, time spent.
Jurors found Eric Johnson guilty of shooting Sarah Muchlechner on New Year's Day back in 2016. The Denton County District Attorney confirmed on Twitter that Johnson will be eligible for parole based on the sentence after serving 22 years of the 44 I mentioned. The jury could have sent him to prison for life.
6 months later, Tay-K would make a decision that would forever alter his life. 17-year-old Zachary Bello and 21-year-old Ethan Walker were roommates in Mansfield, Texas. Zach's girlfriend believed the two were selling drugs and decided to plan a robbery on her own boyfriend. Word would get to 16-year-old Tay-K, who then recruited a team to get the job done. 3 girls went to the house, all aware of what was about to happen. As they spent time with the 2 roommates, they unlocked the doors to the house and the 4 robbers let themselves in. Over the next few minutes, Zach would be hit in the head with brass knuckles and shot in the shoulder, while Ethan was shot in the chest and left on the ground, gasping for air. Ethan would later die.
What kind of robbery is this? This ain't no robbery, bro. Y'all just running up and murdering these folks, bro. Y'all trying to rob a dude, run up in there and take what you need to take and leave. Spare them, bro. You ain't got to kill nobody. What are you doing? You feel me? If you would have did this, but he just robbed them. He ain't shooting nobody. He just robbed you, folk. You would have just went down for robbery. He wouldn't be having no life in prison. Come on now. Crash out. You know what I mean? The youngest, man.
And Zach knew he was set up by the girls because when the robbers walked in, the girls just got up and walked out, not even acting scared or surprised. But nobody planned for a double shooting or for Ethan to die. Police would quickly identify everyone involved, with Tay-K being arrested at only 16 for participating in the home invasion robbery turned murder. Released on house arrest, Tay-K would cut off his ankle monitor and go on the run.
Oh, yeah, this boy was active. He was active. That boy was active.
A month later, 23-year-old Mark Saldivar was shot and killed in a Chick-fil-A parking lot.
New on the night beat, one man found dead in the middle of a parking lot of a North Side fast food restaurant.
So this what really stamped it. This what really put him on, like put him in that situation. This is what stamped it for real. I ain't know all that. He done caught a case. He done popped this dude. Went on house arrest. No, got arrested, got let on bond, went on house arrest. And then you got another one a month later, gang. Tough. And you cut off the ankle monitor. Tough.
Following a shooting. As Pilar Arias reports tonight, police say the car the victim was riding in may also be the same vehicle the suspects took off in.
The parking lot of a Chick-fil-A turned crime scene. The restaurant closed for business like it usually is on Sundays. But that didn't stop witnesses and spectators from gathering to figure out what happened at the lot just across from North Star Mall early this evening.
So this is a shopping center. There were quite a few people out here, and the car drove through like everybody else. And as soon as they heard the noise, they all started looking.
Police now trying to find out how this all happened. Their sights set on a black 4-door car. They say the victim was riding in the car along with several other people police are now looking for. They had pulled in here just before 5:30.
As far as investigators know at this point, the man was shot outside the vehicle, but they don't know what made him want to get out.
Investigators would learn Tay-K and others picked up the photographer for a photo shoot at a local mall. While in the vehicle, Tay-K and one of the other suspects pulled out guns, pistol whipped Mark, and took his backpack containing his equipment. Mark was forced out of the car, tried to get back in, and desperately jumped on the hood. That's when Tay-K leaned out of the window and shot him dead. 2 months later, on June 30th, 2017, Tay-K would drop his infamous song, The Race, and that same day, he'd be captured by U.S. Marshals in New Jersey. Tay-K was now viral after dropping a song describing killing and being on the run, and going as far as showing his own wanted poster. The song would reach number 44 on the Hot 100 Billboard chart and currently sits at 251 million views on YouTube. But
crazy, boy. This boy had the whole nation singing this, boy. This boy had the whole world. 1 minute and 44 seconds. Tough. 256, 251 M's. Tough. Got locked up. Bro, you know how much M's, bro? You know how much bread that is right there? Fuck a record label right now. Do you know how much bread he just popped it as a youngin'? How many racks he just made right there? I be feeling sad for these dudes, man. Sometimes, man.
That 251 million.
Think twice before you do something, for real.
Views on YouTube. But Tay-K would never get to perform his hit song or experience anything from it. He'd only hear about it through jail calls and jail visits. Tay-K would eventually be found guilty for his role in the home invasion murder of Ethan Walker. While he wasn't the shooter, the fact that he recruited the shooter would leave him with a 55-year prison sentence. Fast forward to 2025, Tay-K would be sentenced to an additional 80 years in prison for shooting.
Damn. We're literally gonna watch this boy grow up. We're literally watching this boy grow up. Damn. My boy got veins out his neck. What that is? A scratch? What that is? Stressing.
And killing Mark.
Your punishment is to be assessed at 80 years in the prison. I don't know where your mom is. Don't know where your father is. I know that you had a rough childhood. And
the folks now, not even there. Pop's not there. Mom's not there. Damn. Life really took a turn. For all my YNs watching this right now, man. I know y'all be tapping in. Use this as an example, man. Use this as an example, man. Twin ain't never come home. Twin finna die in there. You hear me? Unfortunately. 80 years. Folks probably like, what he is, 21, 20, 22, something like that. Come on, man. It's tough. It's tough.
And I do know that these offenses occurred when you were very young. And I do realize that while this is a lot of time, and I tell people all the time, any time that you do in custody is a lot of time. But by that same token, you're still alive. And what the state has said is true. You're still alive. You can still better yourself. If you end up in prison for the rest of your life, you're still alive. You still can improve yourself. Your family can still visit you. But the complainant in this case is deceased.
24-year-old Tay-K has been sentenced to a total of 135 years in Texas State Prison. His sentencing will be run concurrent, meaning his 55-year sentence has pretty much been overruled by his 80-year sentence. Under Texas law, he'll be eligible for parole in his 60s. Things have already been rough for him, judging by the scar on the side of.
Fuck. Bro, 60, bro? Eligible for parole at 60. So you'll have a chance to possibly come home at 60 years old. Over with, bro. So it's burnt, bro. That's fried, bro. We're going to be in our 70s, bro. 60s, 70s, bro. You only have a short amount of time to live now, bro. Max 20, 30 years, bro. Crazy. Crazy. My youngest, watch what y'all doing. Don't turn out like this, bro. It's just sad to watch, bro.
His neck that appears to be a slash from a razor. While his crimes can't be minimized, his life must be analyzed. Tay-K was born to 2 gangbanging parents, raised in and out of foster care, and became a product of his parental influence. At only 16, far from mentally developed, he made choices that have essentially ended his ability to experience a life in freedom. He's been deemed a threat to society, and now knowing his childhood, it can be determined he really never had a chance to live peacefully in society. One can only hope he finds peace in prison, learns from his mistakes, asks forgiveness from his victims' families, and lives long enough to make parole. This is the reality of being a crash out, and he is a living example of what any teen could be if you're following down a similar path. Now, as sad as Tay-K's case is, it's even sadder what happened to Sarah, Zach, Ethan, Mark. You know what I mean? And when you hear what happened to them, you really lose any sympathy for him. This was a 16-year-old who was doomed from the start, that grew up to 2 gangbanging parents that didn't do shit for him, didn't provide anything for him. And then, they tried to get their shit together. They tried to, testify on his behalf, and it's done nothing for him. He was failed by his parents, 100%. And then he also failed himself. And he's only 24 years old. And he has all this time. 55 years in one case, 80 years in another case. He's not even 25. I'll be
3 ways to get paid after a car accident that you didn't know existed. Number 1 is not by going through insurance or calling an attorney after.
Be honest.
Yeah, he gonna die in there, bro. He 24, 25, bro. He got 80 years, bro. That's 104, bro. If he's 25, bro. Yeah, that's 100 and that's 104, bro. That's tough, bro. That's so tough, bro. It's tough. He's gonna die in prison. He's gonna die in prison. I mean, RIP to the victims, man.
With you, I'd be surprised if he doesn't, not a lot of people can sit there and do all that time and live a life knowing that there's not much to look forward to. Prison is a repetitive place where the same thing happens every single day. You're only gonna want to do so many seasons of that shit before you just give up on everything. There's no happiness. There's no woman by your side with a marriage. There's no, yeah, you could do the whole writing letters and shit, but that ain't life. We aren't meant to be in prison. He makes it to his parole date, then what? He's 60-something years old. The only thing that Tay-K can do for people is be an example of what not to be and be an example of what's to come if you're living like him. You want to go viral and post guns and show your wanted picture and this and that and be involved with fucking retarded people that do stupid shit that eventually leads to someone's death, then you end up like that. Or his friends that are doing 40 years, 20 years, 15 years, all of them got smoked. Every single person associated with him got smoked. All of them are in prison doing mad time, even the girls that set up the robbery. So it's like, as sad as it is to say, there are people put on this earth that you have to use as examples as what not to be. And Tay-K is one of them. I don't want to paint him as a monster, which is why I wanted to break down his childhood and the things that have caused him to be the way that he is. And maybe he is no longer that way inside of prison. But by the time you end up in there with having to do forever, you really got to be that person in there because now you're in the most violent society. That's why you've been excluded from this one, the free one. But hey, let me know y'all thoughts and comments in the comment section. It's 1090 Jake. I'm rocking with y'all rocking with me.
Man, that's crazy. That's tough. And what y'all think about that one though? The folks definitely did fail him for sure. He's a kid, 16, 15, whatever. What does he know? He doesn't know anything. You feel me? I don't see no big brothers around him. Big brothers, big sisters. I guess his older sister took the stand, but like, shorty, like, where's you at the time? You feel me? You're supposed to stir your sibling in the right direction. Your younger sibling for sure. Man, that's sad, man. RP to the victims. RP to the victims. Sorry to the families. Tay-K, man. Like he said. Hopefully this makes like an example for others, for the youngins. Like, but y'all be showing y'all pipes, flexing, trying to pop it, show that y'all can't be fucked with. Yeah, I feel it. Type. You feel me? I was the same way, for. But in due time, my nigga, that shit gonna catch up to you, my nigga. You gotta be smooth and smart, especially if you're moving like a hothead. You gotta move smart, nigga. Like they said, you're either gonna end up dead or in jail. Literally. If you're moving that way, dead or in jail, literally. But hey, man, I appreciate y'all for tuning in with the channel. If you're new to the channel, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We dropping weekly. You already know my vibes. I'm JayWayy. I'm out.